The Absolute Dependency Paradox: Existence, Explanation, and the Failure of Ground. Preview summary. Why does existence exist? What would it mean for existence to end, to fail to obtain, or to be erased entirely? This essay does not attempt to answer these questions. Instead, it examines why they collapse when pursued without importing time, causation, external vantage points, or hidden metaphysical entities. Proceeding structurally, the analysis distinguishes between particular states of being and existence as such, clarifies the role of nothing as absence rather than alternative, and traces the failure of familiar explanatory strategies. Erasure generates regress, dependence does not terminate, logic constrains without grounding, and appeals to an outside or an origin dissolve into category error. The result is not a metaphysical thesis, but a boundary. Existence is not shown to be necessary, privileged, or self-grounding, or sad. It is shown to be unopposed, not because it wins against an alternative, but because the conditions required for opposition fail to apply. The essay concludes by arguing that the problem of existence does not hide a solution. It exhausts the space in which a solution could coherently appear. Positioning note: this essay is a work of structural analysis, not a metaphysical theory. It does not propose an account of why existence exists, how it began, or what ultimately grounds it. Nor does it advance a theological claim, a cosmological model, or a doctrine of necessity. The aim is not to deny the legitimacy of empirical explanation, physical theory, or metaphysical speculation within their proper domains. It is to examine what happens when the concepts used in those domains are extended to existence as such, and to identify the points at which their conditions of application fail. The conclusions reached here are not epistemic. They do not depend on limits of knowledge, imagination, or technology, and they are not presented as provisional gaps to be filled by future discovery. The limits identified are structural. They arise from the requirements that make explanation, contrast, dependence, and negation intelligible in the first place. References to logic, modality, erasure, or nothingness are not intended as ontological commitments. They function as diagnostic tools used to trace where familiar explanatory strategies collapse when detached from time, causation, or internal structure. No claim is made that these tools exhaust what can be said about existence within other frameworks. This essay therefore does not argue that existence is necessary, privileged, or self-grounding. It argues only that existence cannot be coherently opposed, erased, or explained without presupposing the conditions under which those operations make sense. What remains is not an answer, but a boundary.